Let's go! Let's go! Necessary win. What a win, also. And like, sorry, Habs win 3-2 against the Philadelphia Flyers in Montreal. And now with the loss of the Rangers lose against New Jersey early on Saturday, and then Columbus gets slapped by the Leafs. Thank you, Leafs. It takes a lot of me to say that, but thank you for beating Columbus. We appreciate it. So now there's just a little bit of a gap, and more likely than not, the Habs are making the playoffs this season. And can you believe your eyes? The Habs are more likely than not going to make the playoffs this season. I said it again because it's hard to believe. Do you remember where we were in November? Someone on Reddit posted recently the standings in November. Like by, I think it was American Thanksgiving. New York was, I think, wildcard 1 position. Boston was in the top 3 of the Atlantic. And the Habs were just at the bottom of the East. Not just the Atlantic, the East. Yeah. Did you think we were going to make the playoffs back then? Probably not. Did you think we were going to make the playoffs at the start of the season? Probably not. So, I'm out of words. But, what a game. And I'm going to name this video, Can't You Believe Your Eyes? Because did you see what Lane Hudson just did? Did you see that highlight reel goal from our rookie defenseman? When I watch the games, usually when the Habs scores, I go woo, and I scare all my cats, and my fiance is like, oh well, they scored. Last night, when Hudson scored after Gallagher, which I'm gonna get to him in a minute, but when Hudson scored that goal, my reaction wasn't even woo. I straight up yelled, no! Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, no, I say no way. Just like, no way he just did that. He like grabbed the puck behind the net, went all the way to the goal line on the other side of the rink, and puts it in. What? What? Can you believe your eyes? What he just did? Yeah. He just did that. And then while I'm still in like shock, I'm like, okay, that just happened. Slavkovsky takes a bad penalty, and I'm like, oh no, we might be giving them a chance to come back. All right, well, let's trust our boys in the PK. And then Captain Nick Suzuki, he just decides to go for the puck, retrieve it in the Flyers zone, go for a skate around the goal, fall to one knee in the process, and then snipe it also. These guys want the playoff, and it's such a weird feeling as a Habs fan to have a star, 2 stars. Suzuki is a star as well, and Hudson is a star in the making, and Suzuki is getting there and fast. He has achieved now point per game pace. He achieved it with the Hudson assist, but he looked at that and he was like, I don't want that to just be, I don't want to be a point per game player for like a random assist I got from clearing the puck. No, he just wanted to actually do it himself, and like he scores that goal on the PK, putting the Habs ahead by 2 goals. Yeah, can you believe your eyes? You just watched your captain put the team on his back. You just watch your rookie defenseman, probably Calder winner, skate 200 meters, and just bury the puck behind the goalie's neck. Which, by the way, I think it was going to go post and in if the goalie didn't push the goal back. I think it was going to go post, hit him, and then go in. People are saying like it wouldn't have gone in if the goalie push the net back. Debatable. Anyways, can you believe your eyes? Can you believe your eyes? The first line after the first period. We'll talk about the first period, but not now. After the first period, the first line was just dominating. Can you believe your eyes? Gallagher with another 20-goal season after what he went through. Have you been watching the Habs the last 3 years? If you have, and you haven't had bad things to say about Gally, I don't know what you were watching, but I need to apologize because I said, and I did say, that I thought Gally was washed, that he should LTI retire like Price did, and why was he still playing? Yes, I said that. I was really harsh, but he was just a ghost of himself. I started watching more in the 2021 playoff run, and my fiancée, who got me into hockey and into the Habs, was a really big fan of Gallagher because she used to watch in 2010, 2015 or something like that range, and a little more. So like she saw Gally on his prime, and I saw Gally a really good player during the 2021 playoff run. So then watching him during the 2022 season and the 2023 season, I was like, maybe he should LTI retire because he's just not good. He's slow, he doesn't have hands, and kudos to him because he has completely adapted his game. Hasn't become a new player. He still is the same player, but has adapted to his physical status now, and has scored 20 goals, and none more important than the ones he scored the last 2 weeks. Like that third line, which Anderson wasn't in there this time. We'll talk about that as well. But that third line has been really important. That veteran line, he gets the scoring started. A nice pass from Evans, which also he passed. He assisted on a Gally goal last game against the Bruins. So a nice pass from Evans, and Gally just puts it top shelf. Like there's no way anyone's stopping that. It just goes straight into the corner. Can you believe your eyes? Like, that's Gallagher. That's the same Gallagher that a year or two ago couldn't even skate. And he's doing that. This team wants the playoffs. We won the playoffs. Holy moly. Woo. Okay, so a little bit more structure now that I got that out of my chest. I just really needed to say that, all that. But now, after all the good, the first period was not great. Thankfully, the Flyers are not a great team, because playing like we did in the first period against a great team, we go down the tunnel a lot more than just down by 1 goal. Monty had to be sharp, but our passes were not good. We were getting offside, we were getting icings, we were like, and it's been a story of the last few games. Like, I think since the second game against Florida, so the second game against Florida, Boston, and now the Flyers, our first periods have been really bad, and like we start the game late. We always look a step behind. Our passes are not crisp. So I don't know what the hell Marty or the guys between themselves are talking in the intermissions, especially on the first intermission. But they need to have that talk at the start of the game instead of holding it for the intermission, because they need to start on time. I don't understand how you can see these guys play on the third period and they look like a completely different team that they look in the first period. I don't get it. But watching that first period, I was frustrated because the same thing that happened against Boston. It was like, okay, this is a trap game against a team that's not great, although they have won 3 straight. And their first one, this is something I actually don't get. I haven't fact-checked this, but they said the Flyers had won 3 straight, and since the firing of their coach, Tortorella. The first one was against the Habs, because that's the one we lost. So they've won 2 more. They've had 2 more games since our game with them. since our game with them, we've played the Canes, Florida, Boston. So we played 4 games in the span of the same amount of time that they played 2 games. If it is like that, I don't get it. Weird schedule. Anyhow, so they won 3 straight, but they're not a great team, and they haven't been good defensively, and that doesn't get solved with a new coach. But somehow they are dominating the pace of the game, and I think that period ends with 7 shots on their side to us 4. And the first goal, it's again the Matheson-Carrier pairing that are a little step behind there, and they both get beat on the passes. They're not able to close all the lane fully. And Slav is late to his back check. And Monty doesn't stand a chance there. And Habs legend Ryan Paling. Yes, I did watch actually the 4-goal game against the Leafs for a rookie forward. So Habs legend Paling buries it. Yeah, and I was nervous during the first. I was fairly nervous. But that... And right after they score, or like just a little after, Carrier takes a bad penalty. It's a 4-minute double minor. There you go. For Heistik and Michkov, and like he takes a chunk of his nose out. So like, yeah, that's a 4-minute. You can't argue that. It's an unfortunate penalty. Yes, I don't think he meant to do it on purpose. Michkov like starts moving the way, and like Carrier thinks he's gonna stay there. I don't know. But it's a bad penalty, and now we're down by 1, and we need to kill a 4-minute penalty. But somehow, because these guys are just amazing, especially our PK was clutch during this last game, somehow we come out with the momentum out of that 4-minute penalty. I guess they dominated during those 4 minutes. We didn't give them many chances. The few chances they got, Monty was sharp because he had to. I think he had a stop with the pads twice in a row, like 2 shots. So he got his own like the rebound, and they shot it again, and he stopped it again. So Monty was sharp during that PK as well. And you want your best PKer to be your goalie. So he proved that, and then the rest. Like Evans, he was playing out of his mind yesterday. Defensively, especially. I was a little frustrated offensively. We'll get to that. But defensively, Evans was a beast out there. And like he was able to clear the puck, and we were able to even generate a few scoring chances short-handed like that. Which, nice premonition to what would happen later with Suzuki, right? But... that was amazing to watch. And like the Bell Center, who had been quiet or fairly quiet until that point, they got their lungs filled with air after having the Habs kill that penalty. And I think that's what woke up the team, honestly. Like it took a fight, or it took a couple rough stuff to wake the team up against Boston. It took us to kill that penalty to wake up against Philly. We need to be better than that. We need to... The puck drop should be the wake up, not what comes after. But yeah, so that penalty kill was, I think, the most important part of the game. It's not as flashy as Hudson's or Suzuki's goal or Gallagher. They were all really cool goals, but it's the most important part of the game, I think, killing that, because if you don't kill that, you can potentially be down 3. Because it's two double minors, so they could have if Philly had scored the first 2 minutes of that power play, it's a totally different game. You're down by 2, you still have to kill a penalty. It could have been a totally different game. So securing that was amazing, and the Bell Center started roaring from there. It took a little bit since that point for the Habs to get their legs fully going. They were still somewhat slow. The passes were still not fully on the tape. But from that point onwards, that was the turning point for sure. And we brought that momentum back in the second. And even though we didn't score in the second, we were the better team. And once again, I need to take my hat off for the goalie in the opposite team, because I think Ersson is his name. He had some amazing saves. One on Dvorak with the glove, another one on Caulfield, another one on Dvorak actually, where Gali tries to shoot it, he misses, and then Dvorak has like an empty cage and like it just bounces off the arm. So like Ersson stood on his head and honestly kept the Flyers in the game for a lot longer than they had to. A bunch of really good saves on by that goalie. So even though we could have gotten goalied, we didn't. So good second period overall. I did like what I saw, and we brought all the energy back into the third. And yeah, the rest is history. Eh? But a few points I wanted to mention. I said Evans did frustrate me a little bit offensively, and he does seem a little bit snake bitten. Like he doesn't want to put it in the net for some reason. He could have made a play on the empty netter that Suzuki scored against the Bruins to score himself, but he decided to pass it to Suzuki, and that was probably the smarter play. But you can see that he's not fully believing in his shot or in his abilities to score, so you can see a little bit of that. And then Gallagher or Dvorak sets him up for a one-timer, and he just completely whiffs the net, like totally misses it. And I'm just there like screaming like, no, what the hell? And then, because we're still down by one by that point, so the frustration or the nervousness is still like pretty high up. So then the play continues. I think Dvorak shoots it, and there's a rebound, and Evans tries to grab it, tries to shoot it, and he whiffs. He completely misses the puck, and I'm frustrated, and I'm like, why is Evans there? And as soon as I say that, he sets up Galley for the one-timer, and we score. And then Hudson scores 2 minutes after, So, like, yeah, I didn't get to be frustrated with Evans offensively too much, but you can see there's clearly something bugging him, probably more like mentally than physically. Although I'm sure everyone in the league is banged up by this point, at least somewhat. I think... I would like for Evans to score a nice goal, because when he had his confidence high at the end of December, start of January, he was scoring like empty netters, short-handed goals. He was producing, and that fourth line was producing. The fourth line of Armia, Evans, Heineman. But Armia is just good on the PK. He's important on the PK, and I'll give him that. I think he was an important part of that 4-minute PK that I just said was crucial and probably the most important for the game. I think without Armia we don't do that, or we make it a lot harder on ourselves. But 5v5, oof. I did like Peseta. I did like how Peseta played. He didn't take a penalty. First check of what we want from Peseta. I think he had like 6 minutes of ice time and 8 hits. That's what you want. He didn't do any turnovers, and he was fast on the forecheck, so that's all you want from him. And I think he delivered. I did like what I saw from Kapanen most of the time. So Anderson was out, we think, because of he's becoming a father. So congrats to Andy if that's the case. So he's replaced by Kapanen, who has just recently joined the team after having the playoffs being over in the Swiss league. He rejoins the Habs, and honestly, I just liked what I saw. He had, especially in the first, he had a couple decent chances, decent scoring chances, and playing in that fourth line as a center in the fourth line. So I didn't mind him. I actually liked what he did with the limited ice time he had, so unlimited opportunities. But I think he could have put one in. That would have been really good. Like one of the two, I think he had really 2 really good chances in the first. One of them was really dangerous chance that I think some of the other Habs put it in. I would have liked him to put that in, obviously, but he'll get one. I think he'll get one. I don't know if he gets a lot more chances. I don't know if Anderson traveled to Nashville for today's game. Kapanen might be in the ice again, and we might see like the same lineup we saw last night. What else? I did like our first line. I did not fully like Linus' game, but I do see the effort. I do actually see the effort. He's skating harder. I think he's throwing the body even more. But every time he has the puck on our half wall, I'm in terror because he always loses it. He, on the half wall, he's just so bad. Every time he gets pressured, he gives the puck away or makes it really hard for the defenders to get the puck out of there. So he's skating to be the first one back, but once he's there, he takes a little too long with the puck. He's a little too calm with it, and I'm just there like, we're probably going to give them a chance here, and more likely than not, we do. But I do like Heineman. I do like that second line on paper. The Heineman, Newhook, speed, and forecheck cannot be... what's the word? Well, it's been good. Sorry. Not broad English vocabulary here, but whatever. So they've been a good line, and I've honestly enjoyed watching that. Laine got a pretty good setup from Hudson in the second period, I'm gonna say. That like had flashes of what we do in the power play, like Hudson to Laine. It was a very similar situation. So, like, Laine had a few scoring chances. I just don't like his hustle defensively. I don't even know if that's the right word, because he does hustle, but once he has the puck, he's a little too irresponsible with it. Anyways, I think I went through all the points I wanted to mention. I didn't like Slav's first few shifts, but like against the Boston game, he became a lot better during the second and third period. I'm just glad the other teams haven't been capitalizing on our early mistakes, but I know some people hate when people say this, but if the playoffs started today, we're playing against the Capitals. And let's be honest, if we make the playoffs, we're more likely than not playing against the Capitals. Which, by the way, at the time of this recording, which is almost 3 p.m. Eastern, Ovechkin has now passed Gretzky for the most goals in the NHL. So, congratulations, Ovechkin. Deserved. In the same amount of games, he has one more goal than Gretzky. It's crazy. That's crazy. That's one of those records that you never thought would be broken. And like I said, I started watching more in 2021. So like in 2022 was the first time I even heard about that. And it seemed just such a like impossible thing to do. He needed to score like 200 goals or something like that, or 150 goals. And he's old. So I was like, there's no way. He's just going to retire like a few goals away. I never fully thought he would. And he just did. Wow. Can you believe your eyes? So the Habs have a pretty good chance of making the playoffs, and they have an even better chance if they can finish a good game against Nashville, who have not been playing well, but another trap game and with travel back to back. So there's all the excuses in the world for the Habs to lose this game. They need to find a way to win it. Guess that would put us like 85% chances of making the playoffs. We're like 73% now, and if we lose, we'll be like 68 or 60%. I've been watching those numbers a lot. I'm a number guy. I like that. What can I do? And yeah, like let's have it done. Let's do this. If we win today, and if we win, I think against Chicago, I think that's over 90%. Chances. Obviously, it depends on what the other teams competing do, but I like our odds. So that's gonna be it for now. I was in shock yesterday. My fiance thought it was in a different room told me I sounded unhinged at some point watching the game yesterday, and I'm sure if you're a Habs fan as well and you are as passionate as most of us are, I'm sure you sounded unhinged as well. So yeah, what a time to be a Habs fan. No pressure whatsoever, because we're a team that was not even supposed to make the playoffs, and we're here and we're enjoying and we're witnessing this stars on the making. As one of the youngest teams in the NHL, pushing for that playoff spot with that much heart, with having your veterans come back to life like Gallagher has. Just one more time, can you believe your eyes? I'll see you after tonight's game. Go Habs go.